Okay, hi guys, and welcome back to Wild Time Adventures with me, Ray, Adventures with Affordable Watches, and today a quick review of the Casio AW-80. A little oddity that I came across when I was surfing for Casios, and I picked this up nice and cheap, £22, and it looked like it had a really fantastic spec as well as this cool retro look, and for what it cost me, I thought, you know, it in on the channel. Let's just take a quick look to see what the deal is. So quick review today, bit of a spec monster as we'll see, but a couple of serious flaws. So let's get into our quick review.
Hello, if like me you obsess over this most brilliant of hobbies, why not like this video and subscribe to the channel? Thanks, you're a boss.
Let's do dimensions then first of all. So around about 40 mils across, 46.8 lug to lug, and 13.5 thick. Quite nice dimensions. We're smaller because the dial itself is quite small. It doesn't take up a lot of real estate here. In terms of the design of it, really quite nice and retro. So I believe this must be discontinued because I couldn't see it on the Casio website, and it was only available for grey market dealers and Amazon and what have you. So I'm sure this has been hanging around for a while. I mean, it looks quite 90s retro to me, this design. You know, kind of put me in mind of a Swatch or something like that, in fact. And I think, you know, this would arguably make a good alternative to something like that, a fun little, you know, resin watch with analog hands. So this is of course an digi here. We'll get into how that all works in a minute. So we could see we've got analog hands. We've got a kind of minute second counter track around the outside with a kind of triangle marker at the 12 o'clock position here. It's quite a busy dial, in fact. We've got the Arabic numerals for hours, 12 hour and 24 hour on the inside track there, picked out in yellow. The colorway here is quite fun here. We've got this kind of polka dot pattern in gray. And the text on the dial says the illuminator, 10-year battery, 50 meters water resistance. So yeah, you could take this swimming, you know, you won't have to worry about it. It's great. As I mentioned, it is a bit of a spec monster in terms of the functions that are available. So let's get into that. So first of all, what I'm going to do, I'm just going to move these hands out of the way. So let's just quickly do that. Right, so that's the hands moved out of the way so we can see the digital display a bit better. You could toggle between the having the minutes and counting seconds and day, date, month. If you just press but don't hold the adjust button up here, as you can see. There we go. It's quite nice to do there. There we go. You can go 12 hour, 24 hour by pressing the search button there, like that. That's quite nice to be able to do. Okay, and then functions wise, let's check that out now. So you've got a tele-memo. So if you're so minded, you can store 30 numbers. You've got 8 letters, which will scroll across, and 16 numerals per page. Completely ridiculous and obsolete, but if you want to store some numbers in there just for a fun thing, of course you could do that. Just, you know, it's a bit of a laugh, isn't it? We've got world time, which has 29 time zones and 30 cities. So we have got that second time zone there to track. We've got 2 alarms, hourly signal, and a snooze function. We've got a timer that counts down from 24 hours. We've got a stopwatch. We've got this function to set the hands, which I'll get into again in a minute. And that's it. So as I say, there's a lot there spec-wise. This really would be a really useful watch, it has to be said. But now let's get into some of those flaws. First of all, the backlight is really not great. Don't really know what they were thinking here. So I'll put in some B-reel footage. It illuminates the face somewhat. It illuminates the hands. There is some lume on the handset there. It's not great. But what it doesn't illuminate the digital display because of where the LEDs are at the side. So in the dark, you can't see any of that information, which is really super annoying, I have to say. And then the second issue with this, and this for me is the killer, is the way that the digital display and the analog hands aren't in any way connected, and I guess this is why it's so cheap, isn't it? So I'm going to show you what I mean now. So if I scroll in the functions across to the hands set feature, right, so I need to go across to that and then press adjust, and now I can set the hands. I have to do this and hold this button and just wait while this scrolls around. And if you set the time, you have to do this. If you go like 1 minute past, you've got to go all the way around again. It doesn't sync itself and adjust like modern Casios do. I guess you can't expect too much at this price point, but I guess this is one of the ways in which this design is showing its age. Wrist shot wise, let's pop a wrist shot in. It wears really comfortably, it has to be said. It's super light, as you can see. I'll cut in some information, be real there. So really light, super fun looking, but I'm not going to be hanging on to this because those two floors really do annoy me significantly. It really affects the practicality of it. So there you go. If you want to get yourself a cheap, fun bargain, feature packed, and you don't mind the negatives, then have a look at the Casio AW-80. Okay, thank you very much for checking us out all the way to the end. Do check out my other videos. Please like, subscribe. Let me know about your Casio collection, and I'll see you again in the next one soon.